Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, sir.
Walaikum
Sir.
Assalam.
वालेकुम सलाम सर।
Walaikum Assalam, sir.
Today we are going to become familiar with very well-known function in most of the spreadsheet.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, your voice is not clear and it's breaking in between.
Yes, sir.
I think it should be here now.
Sir, no, it is not clear.
Sir, it's not.
Voice.
It's
Okay.
breaking.
Okay. Am I clear now?
Yes sir।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So some connectivity because of low, internet speed. There might be some issues, but just bear with me. And for today's class, I want to just demonstrate two simple Excel function. The first one is count if, and the second one is sum if. And one more function that I want to discuss with you is VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP is a very, famous function. We will also see how it is used. But first, we'll start with count if. So let us see how this count if can be used. This is some kind of data in front of you. In this data, there are two columns. The first one is for fruit, and the second one is for number or data, whatever it is. And our purpose is to count the number of apples, how many times number of the word is coming in a particular column. If this is our objective, we can achieve that objective using this Excel function count if. So this is just for the purpose of demonstration. That is why there are only 4 observations here in the table. Otherwise, in reality, most of the databases run into thousands, tens of thousands of rows and hundreds of columns. So in that case, counting with certain conditions becomes very difficult. So if we go for counting manually, it will take a lot of time as well as the energy, and it will not be correct also. So in that case, we can use this function count if. So the method how we can use that this Excel function has been written on your screen. So let us do that. Every Excel function starts with an equal sign. So I have typed here an equal sign, and I will type here count if. After selecting this count, it is asking for the range. the range where data is contained, the range where the data is there, where the data is present. So our data is here from B5 to B8. So I have selected the data range here. After selecting this data range, the next thing that we have to define is the criteria. So what we are asking this software to count. So suppose we want this software to count uh, apples, how many times apples is coming in the data. So we can write like this, apples, then we will close the bracket and press enter. So the result that is being given by this formula is 2. So we can cross check here also manually that apple is here and here, apples. So apples is coming 2 times in this data. So this is throwing out the correct result. So let us change these apples to oranges. So now the result is coming out to be 1. So oranges is coming in the data only 1 time. So that is why it is giving out as 1. So the count function can be used on text also, and it can be used on numbers also. So the second column is for numbers, and if we are interested in counting some numbers which are below certain level or above certain level, so we can define that condition and we can count those numbers using the same Excel function count if. So we will start with an equal sign and we will type count if, and we will select the data range. Now our data is in the form of numbers, and then we have to define the criteria, which number this software should count. So we defining it as all numbers which are greater than 55. All numbers which are greater than 55. And now bracket is closed and press enter. The result this function is throwing out is 2. We can cross check here manually also how many numbers are more than 55. So 75 is more than 55 and 86 is more than 50. So there are only 2 numbers which are more than 55. We can change this criteria also. Instead of 55, let us write it here 80. Now the result is coming out to be 1 because there is only one number in this series which is having a value more than 80. So this is how we can use count if, and we can use count if function both on text as well as numbers. Now this a related Excel function is sum if. Okay. So sum if is just like count if. So instead of counting, it sums. It sums the value instead of counting. Count, as the name suggests, simply counts. But sum function adds the values. So say for example, this is some kind of data on your screen. The first column is for property value, and the second column is for commission. And our problem is that we have to count, we have to add the commission of all property values which are property values which are more than 1,60,000. So if the property value is more than 1,60,000, we have to add the commissions. So this is the problem. So there are four properties. Their value has been given in the column B, and in column C, the associated commission is also given. And we have been asked to calculate the commission or add the commission of different properties. The value of property is more than 1,60,000. So let us see how we use sum if function in this context. So we will start with an equal sign and we will type sum if, and then we will select the data. After selecting data, we have to define the criteria. Our criteria is that the value of property should be more than 1,60,000. And after defining this criteria, we have to define the range that we want to add. So we don't want to add the property value, but we want to add the commissions. So the commission data is here. So we will select these data. After selecting this data, we will close the bracket and press enter. So now it is throwing out a result of, it is giving a result of 63,000. So it is just ignoring the first property and including the commissions for the rest of the three property. That is 14,000, 21,000 and 28,000. And the sum of these three property commission is 63,000. So this is how sum if function can be used. Now coming to the third Excel function that I want to demonstrate is VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, the V in VLOOKUP is for vertical. So normally the data in spreadsheet is organized in vertical format. Vertical format means, say for example, this is the table in front of you. So this data is in vertical form because the product ID is arranged vertically, column wise. Sometimes the data is arranged row wise also. So in that case, we can take the help of HLOOKUP. H is for horizontal lookup. Lookup means to search. So VLOOKUP is used to search for a particular data point in a table. So if there is some lengthy data and we want to fetch some value from that data, from that table, in that case, we can take the help of VLOOKUP. For example, this is the table in front of you. The first data point is product ID. The second column is for available stock. And the third column is for price. And our problem is that if we are interested that if we type the product ID here, the price of that product should automatically be displayed in the next cell. So see here, the product ID is 5457 and and price is 28. So the 28 price has been fetched from the table. So this is happening because of the VLOOKUP function, because we have already used VLOOKUP function here. So let us see how this can be used. So we will start with an equal sign and we will type VLOOKUP. And then it is saying which value you are looking for. So we are looking for this value, that is product ID. And then we have to define the table, the data where that the table where the data is contained. So our data is here. We have selected a whole data. After selecting this data, it is asking for column index number. The data is contained in which column. So basically we are interested in the price, and the price is contained in the third column. So we will select here 3. After typing here 3, it is asking that should we look for exact value or approximate match. We want exact match. So after typing this formula, I will press enter, and the price of that product has already been displayed here. Now we can cross check here. Instead of, let us type some another product ID here. So one product ID here is 1233. So let us change it 1233. Now you may see that the price has automatically changed. So the price of the product 1233 is 12. And let us cross verify this in the table also. So the product ID is 1233, and the price of that product is 12. So instead of fetching the price, what if we are interested in fetching the available stock? So we can do that also. So instead of looking for the value in the third column, we can the available stock data is in the second column. So instead of writing here 3, let us write it here 2. So available stock is coming here. So let us write here 3, and let us create one more cell for stock, available stock. Available stock. Start with an equal sign, type VLOOKUP, then select product ID, then select the table array, then the column index is 2. Then we want exact match and press enter. So this cell is displaying the price of the product ID 1233, and this cell is showing the available stock of that product ID. So let us change this product ID to 2345. 2345, and let me press enter. So both price and available stock is changing. And this, so we can, design a spreadsheet like this also. And this is very useful Excel function, because in corporate sector, the Excel sheets are very lengthy. Most of the data runs into thousands of rows, and if we search manually, it will take a lot of time. So in a lot of cases, we can take the help of VLOOKUP function. So now let us come to the today's assignment, that the thing that you have to submit today for today's class. This is also the the application of VLOOKUP. So this is some kind of data in front of you. The first column is for group segment, the second column is for revenue, the third column is for expense, then net, then region is written here. So region is written here in short form, NSEWSENEN, like this. So using VLOOKUP function, you are supposed to fill the full form of N is for 1 north, S is for 2 south, so like this. So if we type here 1 north, 2 south, 3 east, it will take a lot of time, because normally the data size is very big. So in this case also, we can take the help of VLOOKUP. And instead of typing north, south, east, west, northeast, southeast like this, we can just use the Excel function VLOOKUP, and these NSEW, the short form will be converted into full form. Uh, so let us see how this can be done. So we will start with an equal sign. Okay, so we will start with an equal sign, and we will type VLOOKUP. And after typing VLOOKUP, we will select the value. Then it is asking for the table. So our table is here. We will select the table. And our table is fixed. So function F4. So function F4 is used to make a reference fixed. So I have made the reference of the table fixed. So after making the reference of the table fixed, it is asking for the table column. So the table column is 2. And then we want exact match. And now the formula syntax is complete. After typing this formula, I will press enter. And now you may see that n has been converted into 1 north. And if I double click here, it should be copied to the last cell. And just verify, let us see that S is converting into south, E is converting into 3 east, W is converting into 4 west, like this. Northeast is converting and E is converting into northeast. So I will provide you this sheet, and I'm eliminating this. I will provide you this sheet like this, and you have to fill this these cells using VLOOKUP function, and then deposit it on the Google Classroom. So this
could
is
you
very
again show
small
that
task.
formula?
You will start with an equal sign, then you will type VLOOKUP. After typing VLOOKUP, select the value that you are looking in the table. That is J2. And then you have to select the table. I have selected this table again. And since our table is fixed and we don't want this reference to change, so I will make this reference of table fixed. So to make that reference fixed, I will press function F4, the function button, then F4, which is on the first, first row on your keyboard. So function F4, if I will press function F4 and it will become fixed. So $2 sign will be typed automatically once I will press function F4. Then it is asking for the column index. So since our data point is contained in second column, so we will select 2 here, and then another option is coming. Are we interested in exact match or approximate match? So we are interested in exact match. So select that, and this is the complete formula. Then I will press enter, and the result will be displayed. And once I will double click here, all these values will be converted into full form.
So what happens if we don't apply the dollar sign? Will the answers be varying after that?
Yes, then that will be a wrong wrong result. Let us see. First one will be correct, but because we are interested in copying the formula to the next cell also, in that case there will be error,
Okay,
because
sir.
the reference of the table has changed. So the table reference has changed now, and see this, the reference of the table is changing. We don't want the reference of the table to change. So that is why we are making it fixed.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So to make this reference fixed, the shortcut is to use function F4. Function F4 is the shortcut for making a reference fixed. like this. Okay, so today we have, we saw two Excel functions. The first one we talked about count if and sum if. Then we also saw how we can use a VLOOKUP function. So VLOOKUP is a very useful function. SUMIF, COUNTIF is also very useful function. Once you will use these functions yourself, then you will become more familiar with these functions. And these are very basic functions. So I wanted to demonstrate the use of these functions. And but as far as the assignment is concerned, the task is concerned, the task is very small for you today. You just need to fill this column, that is K, using VLOOKUP function. So that's all for today. Thank you.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Sir,
Mhm.
I actually missed some part from the countif function. Can you please explain it a little bit? So in the table.
This one, COUNTIF.
Countif,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Mhm. If there is a data in a particular column, and we want to count how many uh, data of a particular definition is there. Say for example, if the data contains name of fruits, apple, oranges, peaches, or maybe it may be any name of fruit, and we are interested in counting how many times the word apples is coming in that data, or the word oranges is coming how many times in the data. So if we are interested in simply counting, in that case, we can take the help of count if function. So say for example, this is our data uh, from B5 to B8, and we want to count how many times the word apples is being repeated, has been repeated. In that case, we can take the help of countif. Let us see. We will start with an equal sign. We will type count if. After typing count if, we will select the range, the data range where we want to count, and then we have to define the criteria. So the criteria, what we want to count. So we want to count apples. So we want to count apples. So apples is coming 2 times in this data, and so that is what this COUNTIF function is displaying. As per the COUNTIF function, apples is coming out 2 times. So let us verify it and change apples to oranges. And once I typed oranges here, the result is 1, because oranges is coming only 1 time. This is only for the purpose of demonstration, because that is why the table is very small. In reality, the data table, the data right now, the kind of data that each and every industry is producing is very huge and humongous, very large databases. So in that case, the task of counting cannot be performed manually. In this case, we can just look at the apples and peaches, how many times they are written. But if the data is very large, so in that case, how we can do that? So that is why this automation is there available. This Excel function is there available, with the help of which we can count how many times a particular word is being repeated in a data series. Similarly, this COUNTIF function can be used on numbers also. So in this example, I have used this on text. This is text data, and this is numbers data. This is data, and this is text. So COUNTIF can be used on text also and on numbers also. So say for example, these are some of the numbers, and we want to count numbers which are more than 80. So we can use this count if, select the range, then define the criteria. Our criteria is that the number should be more than 80. So more than 80, there is only one number, that is 86. So, and let us change it to 55. There are two numbers which are more than 55. So this is count if.
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everyone. I will share
Thank you,
this,
sir.
Excel with you, and you are requested to kindly practice it on yourself.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Thank you
you,
so
sir.
much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Assignment for
Thank you,
today.
sir.